Righto, so where are we? Okay, so I've polished these and put those on either side. I've adjusted the throttle. This was hanging right out here, so that's nice now. Adjusted that, put this on, cover the fuse box and everything. What I want to do now is bleed the clutch because that doesn't feel right. I've worked out how all the fairings go on. So once they're painted, that'll be pretty straightforward. I was lucky enough to get this part here. It's broken. Both of them are broken on this bike, and I only found the right side. It actually, I'll just take these off carefully. Okay, it actually goes on under here onto the seat lock like this, and that's where you bolt this rear cowl to there. So I've got two for the right, none for the left, and I was lucky enough to find one online in Australia, brand new, for like 20 bucks OEM. So I've ordered that. We can put that on there. So we're pretty much getting ready for paint on this thing. So that's quite exciting. I've been through, like, most of this stuff is bloody broken, see? All this shit, you know. But I've scrounged through and see broken there and found enough to make us one good one. So plenty of guards, but I think we might use the front guard off this one, I reckon. It seems to be alright. We'll polish that up there. Just got to find one of these to hold the speedo cable. There actually should be one on one of these, you would think. Yeah, there's one. There's one there. So we'll pinch him. But we can use it. Oh, he's had holes drilled in him. But we can pretty much use any of these front guards. There's nothing wrong with them really. So yeah, we're all good there. So righto, I was looking online, and these are expensive as to buy. Like, you're looking at 100 bucks. Well, that's what they're asking for. Anyway, let's have a look at. Oh yeah, I polished this up too. That one. So what we want to do now is I'll just block that so wasps and shit don't get in there. My pods should be arriving soon. Today's Sunday, so hopefully early next week they'll be here. Won't be doing much today because I'm going to go down to the pub and watch the grand final, NRL grand final today. Melbourne-Brisbane should be a cracker. So that's what I'll be doing later on this RV. So that's it. Let's have a look at bleeding this clutch. So there you go. No censorship on my channel. I show you even the A-grade fucking muppetry that goes on here. Sitting here pumping the fucking brake, trying to bleed the clutch. So there you go. I've never claimed I am not an A-grade muppet, because I am. But anyway, let's flush out this line with some fresh fluid. Can you believe that? It happens. It happens. Called losing one's shit, I think. Dementia. Anyway. I'm not getting anything coming out of that line when I pump this. That's alright, we've got to bleed those front brakes anyway, so I want to replace all the fluids. But this doesn't look like it's doing much. Even though these look in really good condition, these master cylinders, they almost look new. but I'm not getting anything. Oh yeah, I'm getting a little puff to squirt out of there. But I want to drain the whole thing. So alright, I think we'll put that banjo bolt back in and do all this through the bleed nipple. See if we can build up a bit of pressure. Alright. I can't fucking believe that. Anyway. Fucking dickhead. So laugh and call me a muppet as much as you want, because I absolutely deserve it after that little brain fart. Speaking of brain farts. Back to this bloody nipple. That nipple's actually all bird, so as they usually are, and it's giving me the shit. So yeah, getting a little squirt out of there. I can hear it blowing pressure, but what I'll usually do is fill that syringe full of fluid and push it back up. But I'm not liking this nipple. It's all bird, so we'll see what this one's like on here. Rusty. Just as bad, I think. I might be able to persevere with this one. Let's see if we can get a bit more out of it. It's better. It's better. Alright. Crack him a touch. Get some fluid. Get rid of the old crap. Oh, here we go. We've got, yep, it's coming out now, so that's good. Righto. So we might just let it gravity feed. Try it that way. It's the cleanest sort of way to do it. So I've got my little bottle here with some fluid in it. Keep it up higher than the nipple. Crack the nipple. Only quarter of a turn or so. And then top up the reservoir and we'll let that gravity feed. As soon as it looks like it wants to gravity feed. just give it a few squirts and help it on its way. Yeah, we're getting fluid coming out, so that's good. Alright, let's just let that feed for a while. Quick tidy up. So she's coming together alright, the old girl. I'm actually quite happy with it so far. And we're not into it for much money at all. Just those parts. I'm keeping track. We're probably into it for a couple $100 in parts and stuff. Probably the most expensive thing for this is going to be the paint. So we'll see. Like I said, today's Sunday. Tomorrow I'll go to the Mazda joint and see if I can find that gorgeous red colour. Because I don't care about keeping the paint original. I'm going to paint it how I want it. The colour that I want it, because I'm going to probably keep this bike. So yeah, like I said, I saw this Mazda, I don't know, 3 or something, CX5, whatever they are, and it was the most beautiful colour red I've ever seen. So I'm going to try and find it and paint it that colour. See how we go, get it to stick to the plastic. I've got plastic primer and all that there, so we'll see. Okay, so how are we looking here? Bubbles galore. So we might as well do it properly. Up. Alright, let's just let it. It's actually gravity feeding fast, so. Anyway, I'll continue this off. Alright, I've been pumping this thing for 20 minutes and I don't even know what the clutch is supposed to feel like. So I think I got all the air out of it. So what we'll do is I'll just put a cable tie on there and put it in gear and see if it turns, I guess. Yeah, it's turning, so I think that clutch is as good as bled. Go down to first. Oh, that was first, was it? Yeah, that's first, so that's neutral. Yep, so we'll call that bled. Excellent. Where's my little spanner? Yeah, just get rid of this messy crap. Actually, that's good fluid there, so I'll save that. Let that siphon into there. Alright, nip this up good. Use a little rubber back on. Alright, that's the clutch bled. Another job out of the way. I'll top this up and put the cap back on, and then I guess we'll try and bleed the brakes now that I've emptied that. Alright. Make sure the handlebars are all good. Yep. That's good in there. Righto. Get all that back on, and then start on the brakes. Front and rear. They actually felt a bit spongy, the brakes, so that's alright. I was going to bleed them anyway, so that ridiculousness can be sort of forgiven a little bit. Alright, nips. Righto. Brakes. So we'll go the furthest one away, like you would a car, from the master, which will be the left caliper, and we'll do the right caliper. So what we'll do is I'll bleed that old shit out of the system. We don't want to mix fluid. So we'll get that out of there. Best way to get that out is to suck it out. And you know what, I might do the old push push it up rather than bleed it, because I mean when you think about it, air bubbles want to go up. So when you bleed them, you're trying to push the air bubble down, which doesn't really make sense. I know that's how we do it, but I think the air bubble wants to go up. So if you can push the fluid up, it'll take the air bubbles out that much quicker, you would think, you know. So we can try that. We'll try that. Let's make sure we get all the old shit out of here. I think we're pretty good. Do the other side. I might push a bit of clean fluid up through there and then get it out of the master. Righto, back into it. We'll get some oil into it and I'll turn it over, see if we can get oil pressure. It takes 2.8 litres according to the manual. That's the full oil change. And then we'll wait till 8:30, 9 o'clock or whatever, and then we'll, this jug's a useless heap of shit. Then we'll go down to the Mazda joint and we'll see if we can find that colour, and we'll grab some paint. This one's got a better spout. And I have got a feeling that this thing's going to leak oil from the oil lines underneath. I have put some RTV silicone there. All lines are under here and they've got O-rings on them, and yeah, they've been leaking, so I just saw a drip on it this morning, but anyway, there's no oil in it. But we'll put this in. If it leaks, we'll drain it out again, and then I guess there's some extra oil lines over there, so we can try those, or put more bloody silicone on it, just pump it. So anyway, cracker of a grand final, NRL last night, if you caught it. What a beauty. Just keeps getting better and better, the footy. Alright, so it's 1 litre. What did I say? 2.8. And we'll also, the next project is to, for this bike, is to try and plastic weld some tabs onto that belly pan. So we'll have a look around and see what we can use. I've got a few ideas how to do it, but we'll just have to try and do our best. I mean, I've tried plastic welding before. It sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. it a shot. I got the little kit there that puts those melts those little metal wire bits into the plastic, so we'll just give it a go. And then another 800, which is where my blind eyes can see. There, that line. And so we'll turn it over and see if the oil light goes out, so we get some pressure all up through the system, and then that'll be that done, providing it doesn't leak, of course. Righto, that's pretty much 2.8. in there, and I'll show you what I mean with this leak. These oil lines, no, not those ones. Where are they? Where are they? I know they're here. I've seen them here. So you got these. I hope you can see that. So they've just got that O-ring on there, and that just pops into the spot on the block, and then that just one bolt screws that in. So I don't know whether this part's warped or whatever, but there's just a tiny drip. I put brand new O-rings in there. So yeah, but what I did was put a bunch of RTV around there yesterday, so it should well and truly be, that's the other one, should well and truly be sealed. If it leaks, well, we can try those, but we'll just see. Alright, so we'll hook up the battery, turn him over, and see if we can get any oil pressure. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to bloody paying for this paint. I'll go and see what I got there in the way of, I got some 2-pack undercoat, I believe. I've still got some in there. So, and I got a bit of plastic primer. So we'll just see what we got in stock, and then, because like everything in this country, fucking auto paint, Jesus Christ, has it gone up in price? It's scary. Okay, I'll take those out of there. I've got paper in the exhaust. Pull those out. Okay, so we'll wind him over, yeah, hopefully, and see if that oil light goes out. Yep, there it goes. It's back on. Going off again. it's going off, so there's pressure going through it, so that's alright. I'm sure it'll be alright once it starts and warms up and runs and all that sort of stuff. So alright, we're good there. Actually, if I had to switch that on, it might have popped off. There might be a bit of fuel left in the carbies, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, there's a fucking drip right there, see? Yeah, coming out of that one. What a pain in the ass. So now I've got to drain that oil again. And try and sort that out. Might use that other oil line in case this one's a bit warped. Shit, alright, well I'll find a clean container, salvage that oil, and yeah, go from there. Alright, so we'll let that drain, and while we're doing that, we'll head uptown and see if we can find this Mazda colour. Alright, well I forgot it's a bloody public holiday today in Queensland, so anyway, they're not open, but this is the colour, this Mazda here. I think that's just a beautiful red in the sun. This one's filthy dirty, so, but that's really nice, that just glows. So I'll come back when they're open, tomorrow I guess, and get the paint coat off that. So there you go, that's the one. That's the colour I think we're going to paint the bike, because it looks nice. Actually it looks better with my Polaroid sunnies on, but yeah, that's a nice red. We'll go with that.